Hello, this is Vulturefire, and today's video is just going to be a fairly straightforward Paladin run. Let's go ahead and get our market items. We have max health, max mana, max shield, max recoverable health, max everything. We do have extra rest. We do not have the reroll token. And so I think I may actually end up changing this deck before we get rolling. I'm still trying to sort of figure out exactly what I want to be doing with Paladin for this. So one of the notes here is that this deck, the intention is, it is a fairly straightforward Paladin list that's just trying to do straightforward Paladin things. And to that end, I have to make sure that I have cards that do all the things I want to do. So the first key pieces here, we have 2 copies. Right now I have 2 copies of Focus, 2 copies of Quick Start, and a Predict. I'm considering swapping out a Focus for a Resolute Focus, but on the other hand, this character does benefit a lot from being able to repeatedly hit exact 0 in order to trigger the level 7 passive. So I have Heavy Stand for my Tough and my Sturdy. I have Hobble for Weak. I have Treasure Hunt because that is some card draw that is effective with managing. It is a lot easier to work around hitting Focus when you have a few 1-cost cards in your deck, which is similarly why Overflowing Barrier is in the list. I haven't figured out yet how I plan to do actual damage. One of the things I'm considering including is Infuse, which is going to give me a way to trip Arcane Detonations, which is going to trip the level 4 passive and give me Sturdy. Plus it will do some damage. But I need another card that will do damage for me that is going to do enough damage that I can manage having only one. I may also, instead of the Infuse, have an Occult Ritual and play this in a more tanky way. If that is the case, I have 2 shields already, but I may want at least one more. Let's go with Ferric Rime, I think, as our other card. No, because that doesn't leave us with any ways to get Adept. Let's go with, so for Adept, we have a few choices. The one that I think we probably go with here, so Visions of Frost is very good, but if you don't already have Adept, it will sometimes not be able to effectively trigger Adept, which can be an issue. We have Meditate, which gives Adept and Growth, but doesn't do anything else. Both of those are good buffs, but it does mean that we are then down a card for the turn, and it won't draw us more cards. Keen Contemplation does draw 2 skills and gives us Adept 2. The downside to drawing is that it does mean that this card potentially costs a lot of mana, and this deck doesn't necessarily have a lot of mana to start with. So Meditate is better early, Keen Contemplation is better late. Keen Contemplation is also a much better upgrade than Meditate Plus is. Soul Shield only gives Adept 1, and so we can't really rely on that. Same with Combat Ready. Visions of Frost, like I said, too tricky, I think, to trigger. So I think we are going to go with Meditate to begin with. And so our opening deck is slow, but it's not quite as slow as it looks, because although we only have Occult Ritual, we do have access to tripping Supercharge, which will let us then get kills with the Charged Blade, which is probably going to do a lot of work for us in early fights. So for the card pool, let's start by looking at the epics. We definitely want Spry Vigor, I think. We definitely want Mana Eruption. We could go with Echoing Bolt. Echoing Bolt is a card that tends to take over the run if it shows up, but it tends to be a very good 1-card win condition. If I include Echoing Bolt, I would also want Twinning Ritual, probably. I could run Descent into Madness if my deck is planning to loop several times, which the Occult Ritual indicates it is. Then Descent can do good work. We could run Empower. So before I get to those, though, I think Peace of Mind is going to be very useful. It is a way to get access to Adept, and it is a way to get access to Purity. Arcane Silence and Sanctity are both very important because they are ways to cleanse, and cleanse is very, very important right now. After that, I am kind of torn between Elemental Barrier and Charged Shield. Both of them are good amounts of shield for good amounts of mana. Elemental Barrier has some additional utility courtesy of the barriers, and Charged Shield has some additional utility because it generates these aftershocks. I think we're going to go with Charged Shield. Elemental Conflicts can do very good work on this character, as can Arcane Spellbomb, but I don't think I'm going to take Arcane Spellbomb right now. So we need like one more card. Scramble is also solid because it is a way to get out AoE shock, or we can take the Aether Storm, which is a way to deal with AoE, to deal AoE damage to handle fights that way. Chaotic Barrier is also an option. Normally Chaotic Barrier isn't that good, but it has the benefit of giving us 6 to 12 of a random status to any enemy. Sorry, it has the benefit of scaling with max shield, which, because Paladin has that level 4 passive to generate a lot of sturdy, that tends to make Chaotic Barrier quite good. Much better than it would be on other characters. Although early in a fight, it still won't do that much for you, because it will only be like 4 or 5 shield. Empower is potentially very good. It goes very well if we pick up any access to Powerful, and we do already have some Powerful from Quick Start can give us Powerful. It will give us more energy, it can give us more purity, it can give us more plated. We'll take Empower for now. And I think that then justifies taking Endure once we get there. So we do want Cultivate. Mana Ritual, I don't think we can leverage. If we had to put in Echoing Bolt, we could go with Mana Ritual, but we didn't. Predator's Focus, Precarious Draught. I think Pact of Insight doesn't quite work with what we're doing. Secret Cache is usually pretty good. Weary Concentration is usually pretty good. We will take Endure. That does make us want to get a little bit more tough generation. I think this will be a Mental Growth deck because we are going to be slow enough to justify it. I don't think we want Deceiving Blast. Regrowth is always kind of borderline now because it is a lot more expensive to use. I think we'll take some card draw. Oh, that's right. The other card that we could take is the one that's going to draw us cards equal to the other epic that we could take is... Did I put in Chaotic Shield? No, I put in Empower. We can use Eye of the Storm, which is very good. We could take Spirit Helmet just for the sturdy generation. So Warcry gives us weak to all enemies, which is very good. Plus Shield is continuous shield generation, which is good. Sanctuary, we just want Trial by Fire, Blazing Ritual. These are just good cards that you kind of want in a lot of decks. Arcane Nova is tempting, but we have Arcane Silence, which makes Arcane Nova a little bit worse. Sublime Blast we may actually be able to get use out of. It's very expensive, but it's okay damage, and it is a lot of growth. I still think we are not quite getting up to 8. Being a sturdy deck, being a focus deck makes that a relatively hard bar to meet. We have plenty of mana now. Let's look at the other Paladin cards. So Volt Transfer, I don't think we're generating enough shock. I could see us taking a Galvanized Blade. That is a potential choice. I could also see taking... Okay, so we don't have any room for any more epics. Yeah, I could see taking a Galvanized Blade potentially. I could see taking a Charged Strike. We'll put in a Charged Strike. I don't think we quite want Assault Protocols. And I think I might take, though, a second Voltaic Surge. That's kind of tempting. Sure. We'll see how this goes. This deck is a mess. Or do I want Overcharge or another way to get Adept? I think Voltaic Surge is fine. Okay, so this deck is a mess. I said this was going to be a straightforward Paladin deck, and it is kind of not that. That will have to be next run. This run is going to just be... I don't know what this run is going to be. We will find out together. Alright. Enchanted Hammer is usually very good, but losing a lot of shield is a big downside. Mana Crystal is... and losing a lot of shield is a big downside, especially on Paladin. Mana Crystal is very, very, very good and hard to pass up. Target Shield is also very good. shield gained by cards +2 tends to be a pretty valuable buff on Paladin, but I think the Mana Crystal is a slightly safer pick. And so that's what we're going with. So in terms of encounters, I think Arcane Flow is okay. I would really like a chance to get Toughen though. I wouldn't hate normally going here. Frenzied Flux, especially with an upgrade, tends to be very, very good on Paladin. But I don't know that we specifically... I don't want to give up, because taking that means giving up both elite fights, and I don't think that's worth it. We're not fighting Munchroom. That's relevant. If you're fighting Munchroom, you have to very, very heavily prioritize cleanse cards, especially if you're a slower deck like we are. So we do have a decent chance of getting a card that will do something for us this fight. Yeah, we will go ahead and get shielded front because we are taking enough damage here. My computer is lagging and I do not know why. This was some poor planning on my part. Alright. So, I'm thinking if I want to play Heavy Stand and shock something, or if I want to actually get the... I think I do just want to play it for the shock. And there we go. We get the full block. Alright. Let's go ahead and start with that, and then supercharge. This will generate quite a lot of shock. Right. Unfortunately, we do not have the last bit of damage we need, but we can block, so that's fine. And then we just have to find Occult Ritual, which is literally the bottom card of the deck. Okay, we can get to exact 0 though, which will let us get this charge up, which will get us this kill. And it would have drawn us into the Occult Ritual if it hadn't killed. Okay, I do want to Stone Skin eventually, so I'll go ahead and take it now. Contemplate is good, but not mandatory. We're going to go right. We're going to gain energy. That's actually pretty good. So that is, we don't have any spells but right now, but we have some spells in our card pool, and it is more status from various things. Most obviously, that means more status from our Occult Ritual. So we didn't really need to play all of that out, but I wanted to, so we did. Okay, so we're going to supercharge first, because if we supercharge first, then we can get... Alright, yeah, let's just go with this. And then begin prepping energy for next turn. Which will let us supercharge again. Because this is kind of one of the things that you can do with Paladin is plan on chaining supercharges together effectively. We would love to have Adept, but we don't, but that's fine. There's that done. Right. So we are going to be made weak, but it isn't a huge deal. With our Adept. Alright. We do want to get supercharged first. There we go. See, so Occult Ritual Plus is our highest priority upgrade. Mana Dance is actually not amazing for this character. I don't really have any cuts that I want to make just yet. I think I kind of like all of what I have. I do need more card draw at some point. I could have taken the Charged Slash, but I didn't quite want it. We will increase our max mana. And here we go. Alright. So we're actually going to do things a bit weirdly here because we want to be able to hit 0. And we also want to make sure that we play out the Mystic Ritual, Arcane Ritual, Occult Ritual, Ritual. Alright. That shocks, which is nice. We will be taking some debuffs here. Specifically, we are going to blow up, probably. Alright. So this is convenient. We can get out a couple detonations, which won't take away any actual buffs, but it will hit this shock for extra damage. And then we can do that. And we could get more shield, but I don't think we want to. Alright. Oh, hey, there is that thing we want. Okay. So first off, we can pop off all of those buffs. These still cost 1 because we took a fatigue stack. Let's go ahead and finish drawing cards because we can. Okay. So I think we want more growth and adept and more shield. We're not actually going to explode here, which is pretty nice. Normally we would. This actually works out very nicely. We get to go bonk bonk. And then hit exact 0. And get a little bit of shield back. So the important note here is that you may have noticed we are able now to tank that Doom proc if we have to. Let's see if we can get that other... No, we aren't going to be able to get supercharged here. That's fine. We can now, but I don't think we want to. I think we would rather save it. Okay, now I kind of like it, because it's guaranteed to draw us into treacherous. Let's get more straight, just to be safe. Alright. And now we just need to find our arcane ritual, or occult ritual again, and it will get us the kill. And there you go. We managed to get that kill without even getting arcane detonated once, which was kind of a surprise, honestly. Eye of the Storm is very tempting here. Arcane Flow is also very tempting. Arcane Flow gives us a bit faster damage, and it works well with our occult ritual, and it becomes a good upgrade later. We won't otherwise have access to Arcane Weakness. All of these are worthwhile notes. Eye of the Storm is very good card draw, but I like Arcane Flow. I'm going to go with that. Treasures created on kill is always good, and we just kind of have to upgrade this Arcane Ritual first. I don't really want to remove anything, so we're just moving on. We are not going to be able to get to 0 this turn. Start going bonk bonk. Let's tag you. Alright, and so that only did 5 shock because we were frail. So now The downside to that being the very bottom part of the deck is that it means that we didn't, there we go. We have to shuffle again before we'll find it. Let's get more shield. We are not planning to draw, oh, sorry, we're not planning to go supercharge this turn. We're just setting up some stuff and play that. I'm deciding if I probably, actually if we do this, then we can afford to do this first. Okay, I was hoping to find occult ritual, but no such luck. But this ends up working out fairly neatly. And we could supercharge again, but at this point we have enough fatigue that I didn't think it was worth it. Right. It's actually supercharged. Ironically, we're not going to use this on the thing we're planning to arcane detonate, because this is just going to die outright. And so we need to split that. I think we're doing okay on growth right now, so I don't think we need mental growth. I think Blazing Ritual, though, is pretty nice. We do still need some way to cleanse. We just haven't rolled any yet. Alright. It's a fairly straightforward dump the hand turn. But the lack of cleanse does mean that we are taking a lot of incoming damage here. This won't be the only turn that happens. Okay. But we can detonate once, which is nice. We do want all that extra shield, and we do want all that extra energy. So the nice thing is that the Mighty is now gone, which makes things a bit easier for us. So here's a fun quirk. Blazing Ritual is a mana card, so it doesn't cost us energy, even though it does benefit from the cost reduction, which is a fun interaction that works out well in our favor. Let's see what we draw. Okay, get that damage out. Play something that won't be affected, because we do want this shield. Alright, eat some damage to our shield. And let's get shield before we supercharge. Let's play this first, so we shock, and then we can get out those 15 damage detonations. Ooh, Endure is very good. Toughen is also very good. This is a tough... all three of these are very good, but I want Toughen, and we won't otherwise get a shot at it. Starting Adept rank is probably... So this is another very tough choice. These are all very good for this character. We do have other ways to get Adept, which somewhat reduces Mind Rune's usefulness. Vindictive Aura, I don't think we're ever going to trip, and because we now have the Toughen, we don't really need it. Cryogenic Flask, though, can save us on some dangerous turns, but it's only one... these are all very tough choices. We're going to go with Cryogenic Flask. It has a pretty good ability to save us on some dangerous turns. I'm considering whether or not I actually need the Stone Skin if I have the Toughen. I think the answer is no, although the Stone Skin is obviously cheaper. So this gives us a chance of getting Arcane Aegis, which I think is worthwhile, because I think that is, of these cards, the one I want the most. It is only a 1 in 6 chance, but it's a chance. Okay, this is just the worst possible opening turn. We'll go ahead and save ourselves 12 damage. It's time for Toughen to shine. Do that. Because we're going to eat into our own shield here. And then we are going to kill you outright. Okay, we could supercharge. I don't think it's quite worth it. I think we're going to want to get shield next turn. I want to make sure we can do that. Okay. Now I think it's worth supercharging. Need adept. We're trying to think. That's mana, so we can use that first. Let's blow up. Let's blow you up. And we're doing that first so that we can get rid of the who's my what. There we go. Lots of shield. Some more energy. Some more mana. Some more healing to make up for that awful first turn. And here we go. Alright. So we once again have probable lethal on something. Okay, that's guaranteed lethal on the back one. So we're going to go ahead and take it to get these treasures out. And now, even though we don't have... Oh, I should have played this first to get a shock on it, but it's not going to matter. Alright. Adaptative spell. It's very flexible, it's very good. We want it. It's also a very high priority upgrade target. Okay, so we do want to get that out. Although we do actually want to freeze this turn, because just blocking that summon is nice. Although this is another turn where we wouldn't hate. Blocking, because this is the turn that the bleed comes out. Which is just very annoying to deal with. I'm going to play that. And then we end turn, because we don't want to... We want to make sure that we full block this. Alright, this is a risky choice. Yeah, we're just going to do this. Just going to pop off the powerful stacks, and then we can get actual shield here. So let us block. Okay, yeah, we're just going to play out all of our mana. We are going to be sad that we don't have a way to deal with, to avoid taking damage from this front jerk. We are just going to have to eat that, but we wouldn't mind taking the Wall of Thorns drop from this fight. That would do pretty good work for us. Let's play that. I'm trying to think how we get through this. Oh, we can do this into that. That's how we get our mana. So I want to get that out first. And I want to get that. And now we will supercharge. Okay. This actually works out very nicely. We end up at exactly enough shield. So we will get the charge up plus. Okay. Energy. I'm okay with taking 1 damage. It's going to let us do this, which is very nice. I wasn't thinking about that counterattack damage. It's fine. Yeah, we can't completely deal with the counterattack damage, but we mostly deal with it. Oh, I forgot to play the charge up. It's fine. Yeah, I shouldn't have attacked the into the reflect. That was on me. A lot of unnecessary damage there. That's a kill. I think Wall of Thorns. So we really need this cleanse. This Wall of Thorns is also very good for us, though. Like all 3 of these are very good. I think because we don't have any access to cleanse yet, we do need some. Sorry, I had paused this briefly, so I accidentally skipped picking an item. The item that we picked up was Tiny Book. The other choices are irrelevant because Tiny Book is very, very good. For upgrade, Adaptative Spell Plus is very good. It's just a lot of card draw. It's a good amount of mana. Arcane Flow Plus is also incredibly powerful now because the Arcane Weakness 2 will do a lot for us. As usual, we have a lot of very good upgrade choices. Sanctity Plus we may want, but I think we want to see what our Area 2 boss is first. If we are fighting Shadowbone Dragon, then Sanctity Plus becomes incredibly valuable. If we are fighting Ruby Dragon, we want it. But if we're fighting Emerald Dragon, it's not as good. It's not bad, but it's just not as important. Toughen Plus is reasonable. I think we're just going to take the Arcane Flow Plus just because it seems like fun. It's not a thing you get to do that often. I still don't have any cuts, I think. So we're moving on. So Pulverize is the card that we want because Pulverize is pretty nuts. And it is Emerald Dragon. And we will get a chance at getting Gleaming Aegis. So this buff, I don't think we're quite going to be able to reliably hit the pieces, but we may take this anyway just to see how it goes. So the question is, do we want to start here or here? Here gets the shot at Cornered Focus into a shot at Bloody Rage. Here we get 2 chances at Mystic Ritual as well as a chance at Rocky Hide, which I don't hate. And I also don't hate Gathering Bolt. But we do also still get a chance at stuff here. We'll start with this one and see how it goes. Okay. We're going to freeze because we do not want the buffs to be coming out from that. So let's think through how we're going to hit 0 mana. Okay, so by doing this, I think we're going to play that and then Supercharge. And let's go ahead and get out Adept. There we go. That's a pretty good place to be for next turn. So we are going to detonate from this jerk, which is obnoxious, but so it is interesting to note we do hit 0 mana very briefly while playing Blazing Ritual because if we played at 5 mana, we go to 0 and then immediately up to 10, which does still get us this charge up, which is just another interaction worth knowing about. So we are going to apply Weak and we are going to Toughen, but that won't stop this detonation from happening unless we draw exactly Occult Ritual. That's actually perfect. Oh no, because we can't get through the Arcane on this and still get to that. So it's not going to work out. Okay. In that case, I'm just trying to think how I want my mana to work out. So we're taking 4 plus 9 plus 9. So we're taking a total of, 4 plus 5 plus 10. So that's total 19 damage. So we do need more shield. This takes us to 7. Okay, yeah, the mana just doesn't quite work out for us unless we supercharge and draw into mana, which is kind of an ask, but not a huge one. All right. And now we still don't get, I'm going to do that so we can get this for shield. So we don't get the, we are still getting Arcane detonated, but now we only have one enemy to deal with, so it's a reasonable trade-off, I think. And we can get more shield. So this will put Arcane Weakness on us, or sorry, not Arcane Weakness, Arcane Leak on us, which is annoying. But we just need to find, let's draw some cards. kind of risky. If we had drawn into supercharging here is also a risk, because if we draw into exactly this and we hadn't drawn mana to go with it, we would be very sad. But it wasn't too risky because we weren't actually threatened there. Cultivate's not bad. Rocky Hide isn't bad. I like Rocky Hide because it turns into a shield card, which we do kind of need. Let's go. Do I want Bloody Rage? I think the answer is no. I think Bloody Rage goes too slowly and it needs an upgrade, which we do not want to spend on it. And this is a turn that we are going to just draw with Adaptative Spell. Okay, so it is actually useful to us to not have gotten Arcane Ritual this turn, because now we can because we got it last turn, we wouldn't have been able to detonate off the Arcane Leak, which is of course what we wanted to do. And let's, alright, so here's the plan. Like so. Now we hit exact 0. We don't explode because we destroyed the arcane rune because we used that thing. Alright, so we can do this to hit 0 very briefly. And we can detonate this one to death, which I think is what we want to do. Goodbye. More shield is fine, but doesn't actually do that much for us. I think we're instead going to shock, and then use the shock to do a bunch of damage. And then, yeah, we'll get more shock out, sure. Decide if I wanted to get the shock out or if I wanted to do damage. We're just gonna do that in turn so we don't explode. And now we just need to find Mystic Ritual in order to win. Actually, we don't even need to do that because this is gonna get us the energy we need. Okay, Gathering Bolt or Brainstorm? That's the question. We don't really have a lot of cleanse right now, and the cleanse that we do have is after a draw, which makes Brainstorm weaker than it otherwise would be. Gathering Bolt gives us another way to access Arcane, which seems okay. I don't think we need the second Voltaic Surge. Let's see, we can let Exhaustion overtake us, we can remove a card. If we do, I think it would probably be the Gathering Bolt. I think that's our least valuable card. And this just gets us, like, not much. I think I'm okay with cutting this Gathering Bolt. And then here, we're just going to go here and try and get Mystic Ritual, I think. Let's see what we can draw. None that is particularly helpful. I do like freezing this one because it functionally shuts it off for 2 turns. Because that's going to mean that it doesn't set up the Arcane Rune, and the Arcane Rune is the only reason it's a threat next turn. So, and we get, conveniently, this Charge Up Plus. Alright, we want to get this shield up before we supercharge. And now we supercharge. Let's see what we draw, so we can find that one thing that we want. We did not. We were looking for the card that does things. My brain is, as usual, misbehaving. Oh, the Arcane, this one. This card. Which we can then use like so. This would draw us more cards. I think we're just going to get more mana and prep for next turn. We aren't taking an Arcane Detonation here, but we do... We do need more shield, unfortunately. There we go. Because of the burn. Bonk. Okay. We can supercharge. Unfortunately, we don't have a follow-up ready. We are going to take a little bit of damage here. So they aren't weak, but we can fix that. You're going away forever. And weak just means that we can play another card before we risk exploding. And there we go. Narrowly avoiding going boom. This would do okay damage to everyone, but I don't think that's what I want. I think I want to draw cards. But first, we're going to blow you up completely. And draw some cards. As I said. Right, looks like we are headed for an Arcane Detonation here, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. May as well do that. Yeah, we do need more shield because we are going to take that burn damage and that arcane damage. Alright. Yeah, just gonna have to play everything. Donk, 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 donk. I think we do want to draw cards. We do want to do this first so we can get that to trap. And now let's see what we can find. A little bit unfortunate on draws. I was hoping to find cards with text. Unfortunately, no such luck. Maybe we should try putting more cards that do things into our deck. Alright. And there we go. Took a little bit, but we got the kill. Endure. It's actually very tempting. I haven't been paying enough attention to our tough, but I think we should be able to hit it. Alright. See what we can find. That shield isn't actually needed this turn. I do like drawing more cards though. Alright, let's do that. Because it means this. Oh, no, not quite. I need... That'll do. Let's see, this is 5 more mana. That actually works out perfectly. That lets me get tough and still do this. We'll deal with both of those plated stacks. Alright. There's the tough I need for Endure. Yeah, I can play both of these. We can more Arcane Weakness on you. We can Endure. And I am one short, unfortunately, of doing everything I want. But Do we draw cards? Of course we draw cards. Do we supercharge? Sure. What else do we do? Draw more cards. We are still adept, so we can do this. Huh, it says cannot draw, but I don't know what it was trying to draw there. Probably a bug. It was trying to draw a bug. Alright, let's get more tough. I don't actually want to give it up right now, because we won't have more tough next turn probably. So we just discard a bunch more tough. Okay, this seems like a good chance to do that. There's some mana. And now we're good to go for next turn. Pop. Okay, this is too much energy. I shouldn't have let this much energy build up. But there's lethal. This needs to come out. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Pull us out of Supercharge. And yeah, Endure is still just a little bit awkward to use a lot of the time, which is part of why I don't know if I like it or not. But if we had like a trial by fire, if we had like one more card, or if I hadn't cut the Stone Skin, I think we would be in good shape with it. That was a pretty bad Supercharge, I should have saved it. Okay, and now this will just easily finish the fight. Okay. Spry Vigor is very good. Manifold Invocation. We don't have any Wits. If we had more Wits generation, I think I would take it. We should be able to get like 12 damage and 12 arcane out of it. But I don't think that that's quite enough. This card actually becomes a whole lot better if you have Sublime Blast now, because Sublime Blast will give you the Wits and the mana boost, and then you just need Adept and Mighty. Elemental Conflux. Does a lot of work, potentially. But do we just need more mana is the question. I think we just take the Elemental Conflux. I think it should do enough. I think I like having the permanent powerful rank. And then as far as upgrades go, I think it's Rocky Hide, because Rocky Hide Plus is going to give us 15 shield on play. And I think Endure is not quite good enough. Okay. Let's actually put that there. Draw more cards. Okay. This is very good. Let's work on getting you killed, because that'll do. We should have just hit this one to get the big damage on it, but okay, so we do this. We can do those two together. There's some mana. We have no clue what this is going to draw, so we want to play this first. And then do we just get out more tough and some mighty? That seems reasonable. Let's see what happens next turn. Rude. taking my plated away. Let's draw more cards. This is kind of an awkward turn. It's actually not the worst. It actually works out very nicely because it means that we get to kill this one. And then we can just completely ruin that one's day. And I think I just do not want to deal with getting arcane weak or arcane leak. You know, the arcane thing. You know the one. Alright. Can we get to enough energy this turn? Yes. Because if we can supercharge, we just kill this front one. So we do this, and then we do that, which gets us a supercharge. And there's the kill. Okay, and we can reroll to pick up Gleaming Aegis. Is this fight worth it? We don't want either of these cards. We'd only be doing this fight to try and get an upgrade or a reroll token, which I don't think is quite worth it. Because there was a decent chance that this fight would have been, that this event would have been fairly valuable. It wasn't, but it could have been. I think that we will just take the Molten Pauldron. It doesn't do much for us, but... And then we're just going to take this fight for the cornered focus. I think I'm just going to get mana out of that this turn. Let's go ahead and prime you to die. Okay. Yeah, we can do this. And the question just becomes, do we toughen before or after we supercharge? And I think it's safer to do it now, to do it after. Because we want to make sure that we can leave supercharge if we want to. Alright. And we have to do this, because we do need to find stuff to play. Unfortunately, we are going to immediately drop out of supercharge here, which means that all these things are going to cost more here in a moment. Okay. We can do this. Let's blow you up. Or let's freeze you. Let's blow you up to make you immediately less threatening. And then we're taking 5, which will take us to... Okay, so the answer is we do need to freeze one of them. I should have frozen this one first, so I was going to do that for the extra damage. But the reason I froze one that was doing less damage was so that I could get that... perfect block. Okay, so this will now kill the front one. Let's get shield. Also kill that one now. Let's go ahead and just kill that one then. Because it has bigger numbers. Okay. Because now this will get us that kill. Come on, mana. We cannot play any of that mana. Okay, well, we'll do that. That was interesting. It should have let us play the thing. Just do this. So, this one's going to try and summon. There's a decent chance it succeeds, but there's also a very good chance that we don't quite care. Because yeah, summon comes out. We do not have to get the kill here. Boom. Alright. Easy kill. Against the odds is not the card we're looking for. Mental growth is also... mental growth is a maybe. And we're just gonna take... Then we're just gonna take the secret cache. Alright. So that won't actually do a ton for us, but it will start counting up that card. Let's go and start seeing what we find. Okay, that worked out nicely. I probably shouldn't have played the Voltaic Surge because it costs us shock, but... And we risk... We're actually probably going to end up shocking ourselves here. And by probably, I mean on purpose. We definitely are. But then, we can also freeze, which is nice. And we just later have to figure out how we're going to deal with this, tanking this damage that we have accrued. Alright, we're just going to have to pay mana, I think. Rocky Hide's going to be nice. Let me go ahead and make a bug report note. Alright, back to this whole deal. So this needs to come out at some point this turn. Okay. Do this. I do want to supercharge, but ideally the way this works is that, start by doing that, so we draw. Okay, so I'm gonna come out of supercharge and play the Gleaming Aegis so that we immediately get all of that shield. And for bonus points, we can go ahead and explode. Oh, we don't explode. Ah, curses. I didn't quite account for things properly. Ended up taking just a little bit of damage. Go and get that mana so we can get more shield and more tough. Alright, we now have some things, some actual reasons to want to Arcane Detonate. And would you look at that? We have a way to trigger an Arcane Detonation. If I hadn't been a dumb. Oh, this is most unfortunate. Mana? Mana? Well, that was incredibly unfortunate. If I could count. But I cannot count. Still, I'm not too concerned, and that is a pretty good reason why. This will freeze, and it will blow up. Some of those buffs. You can get some more mana. You can draw some more cards. Okay. This is a tough choice because I want to play this, but I also want to play. I want to play this both before and after that because I want to get the shock on the arcane ritual. But I think this is more important. Haha! That actually worked out very nicely because it tried to set up its buff, its extra plated and whatever, but we actually managed to catch it out and immediately get rid of some of it. So this will trip the plated, or trip the purity. Go ahead and hit. Right, we are taking some damage here. but it's just 1 damage, so I'm fine with it. I'm just freezing over 1 damage. Alright. There's another round of buffs coming out. So this should, yeah, cleanse off that. We want to get our shield before we play the occult ritual, so that we get the maximum benefit from the level 10 buff. Okay, so this will shock us, but I think that's fine. I think we can deal with being shocked 1 more time. Yeah. Right. That's still not going to be quite enough of various buffs, but all right, and we are ready to supercharge for next turn. I should have just supercharged. See this? That is lethal. Okay, because if not, I was probably going to use the freeze there. So I didn't have to tank all of that damage. And there's Dragon Form, which is exactly what I was hoping to see. Yeah, Arcane Cloak. And we're going to upgrade Dragon Form, because you don't take Dragon Form and then not upgrade Dragon Form. And we're moving on. Okay. So we're fighting Maw, which means the protectors are important to fight. That does mean going through a bunch of bog golems, which means that we have to ask ourselves if fighting 1 protector is enough. If this was a double marsh, I probably would. But no, I think we do have to go through the triple bog golems and just hope that it works out. Which, I think it probably will. I'm only a little bit worried. I should have done this first. For extra value. So I have a lot of plated to work with. We get very slightly cursed here, but only very slightly cursed. Okay, we need to do that first, and then we can draw cards. Okay. And this will get us this double detonation that we want. Apply shield. There's no mana there, so there's no point in doing that. All right. Let's go and do that. Okay. I think we want to solve that problem and then draw some cards. So this needs to come out because we need to get access to stuff. All right, we can get shield and we can get weak out, which is gonna be nice. We need to get the Gleaming Aegis out, that's the point. Okay, do that. All right, we are gonna supercharge. Which will, okay, we'll kill that one, which is kind of what I wanted to see. So we draw. Okay, make sure that there wasn't anything else that would draw that would change our opinion there. Not quite lethal, but not too far off. And we can get a lot of shock out. Oh, and now we just supercharge for the win. Swipe. Its fully shield is nice. It's weaker against this specific boss, but I think it's good enough anyway that I'm willing to take it. So yeah, these fights can be very, very annoying because this guy's a jerk. We do get to set up Purity turn 1 though, which will help us a bit. We don't have to take this 15 poison right off the bat. And this is probably going at that friend. This question becomes, do we want to try and draw cards? And the answer is yes. And then we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. Go ahead. And then we are going to freeze you and blow you up slightly. For value. Okay. Let's go shock. Poppity pop. Okay. So we get a little bit more shield. We're going to go ahead and freeze you. Okay. So that's going to do a lot of damage. And then we can, okay, get out temporary powerful, get that kill, and then conveniently we'll get to blow up both these stacks of powerful. And this fight is going way better than expected. Being able to arcane detonate is pretty useful, it turns out. Yeah, our mana is a bit weak. We would love to have Hunter's Focus. We are offered a Hunter's Focus. That is absolutely what we are taking from this fight. Go ahead and pull out of supercharge mode. We get to just completely block that. Okay. The reason we're doing this is so that now we get 15 damage explosions. Which I don't think we needed, but... And there's the Hunter's Focus I was hoping to see. See. Okay. I don't hate shutting you down turn 1. Prevents you from setting up evasion. And then we can just do that to avoid getting... to avoid having problems, I would say. cards. Okay. Okay. That was an unfortunate. It's unfortunate we didn't get the occult ritual the first time through, but we do get it here. We do a good amount of damage. I think I can play one of these safely. Okay. Rude. All right. There is mana in the deck. So that's going to do a couple fairly big hits. Oh, I wasn't counting my mana properly. It's fine. Oh, whoops. Wasn't paying attention to how much poison I had. There is some healing, which is enough to get me to full health and to factor in the force bonus. Alright, and Sanctuary is great. Very happy to see that going into the Maw fight. The Maw fight itself is probably going to be fairly long because we are doing Occult Ritual, which is not a fast win condition. Okay, that's actually kind of perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping to see. And let's just... Actually, no, we are okay with taking this damage. Well, we were more okay before when I hadn't miscounted. But I think we need to freeze you so that you don't... Oh, I should have used that. I'm very awake. Okay. So we make sure we get that out before we supercharge. We are still going to do this because that is still where I want to put those explosions. Okay. So we are actually going to drop out of supercharge like that. Okay. Play that, and then let's see what else we can find. That's not getting played this turn. I do have to do this. This leaves me at that much mana, which I think is worth it. And I'm probably going to play the Sanctuary I think is my last card. Yeah. It's a lot of shield, and it deals with some of my problems. And then we can prevent more poison from coming in. It's not all I want to do that turn, but it's not the worst. The fact that these guys can also just poison out your summons, it's like, really one day, did they have to be able to do everything? Let's see what this draws. We do not have Adept. We'll get that. Getting mana, and then this will be my last supercharge card. Alright, there we go. Yeah. That almost kills you. With supercharge, it should outright kill. And then you can draw cards. And draw more cards. And we can blow you up. Not quite lethal, but pretty dang close. Alright, I can actually do this. Which technically denied me the win there, but it's fine. We still have to win. Okay, was that all three of them? I think that was the third one. This doesn't do much. This is better than that. What was the other option? Thirsty, yeah, I'll just take this. And now, the Protector. The first Protector. Okay. Start by drawing some cards. I say start, that is actually a few actions in, but okay. Take some damage. The nice thing is we can actually afford to shrivel because of the toughen. Okay. I do want to play this probably. Because of that shield. Okay. I'm actually going to use... I may actually use Cryogenic Flask here to take off this, that, because it doesn't cost me, freeze to do so. And then I can get out just a lot of damage for free, basically. Alright, let's think. Okay, so I'm going to draw exactly those cards. Which... I think we want to do... Oh, we do want to get this out because this is coming out this turn. And then we want to, I think, detonate you for 30 damage. Alright, so we don't fully block, we don't fully prevent ourselves from getting cursed, but we do mostly prevent ourselves from getting cursed, which is still a lot better than just not doing that. And we get to cleanse ourselves off, which is nice. This is one of the downsides of weird concentration, is that there will be times like this where I just like, I didn't want to play it there, because it meant that it made drawing cards worse, but kind of felt like I had to. Okay. Okay. So I have to do that. And then I have to do this. So the nice thing about getting this freeze out is that it means that now these detonations will be huge as well. Start by drawing cards. Okay, yeah, because if I can do that first, then this is just going to kill. Okay. Alright, that's fine. We don't take any damage. And here comes the curse threat again. And now I will deal with some of our curse. And we get a little bit of shield out so that we are otherwise safe. And of course, these guys are slowly killing themselves, so that's just kind of what they do. Okay. The odds are very, very good that I think we are guaranteed to draw something here that will help us. Yeah. Because, yeah, we were guaranteed to get things. Okay, so we can just blow up the back one, or we can do possibly lethal here. Not quite lethal there, but we have enough shield. And now I think Charged Blade gets us there, if we have enough. That works, but if I can, I was going to say I would like to find a heal, but I didn't. That's fine. We actually have the heal off the forge, so I shouldn't have even bothered. Clear Focus is absolutely the card we need. And here comes this fight. So we still have Pirate Hook, which makes this fight a lot easier. Pirate Hook is just very good in this fight. No, we can't hit actual 0 here. We don't need to play that. Summons come out. We don't have any AoE. This is where like Arcane Silence would be particularly good. But even without that, we can dip to 0 that way. Let's play this. Ooh, okay, there we go. So I can do like that. Yeah. We would really like to have just like even a minor bit of AoE here. Would make things a little bit easier, but gonna play that first, so that when we play this, we will get the energy. Okay. Mm-hmm. This gets us to not quite the amount of mana that we want. We can draw this, pitch that. Alright, so we do this to get that explosion out. And we are going to summon like so. So you're gone. Let's start by doing that. And then we can do this into some damage. We now have a lot of cards in hand. We ended up at 11 accidentally. Whoops. All right. Just go ahead and get more top time. No problems at all. We do not have, there we go. Start with this. And then draw cards with that. Good. Also, get that free bonus mana. Okay, we take some damage to burn, then we immediately get it shielded back. We are going to freeze this turn. And let's get that mana. Just trying to get the maximum value we can out of this explosion. You can already see in this fight why the Maw fight is at risk of taking a while. Although at least in the Maw fight we only have the one target. Whereas here we have these summons to deal with. Although Supercharge helps a lot with dealing with the summons. Now let's draw my cards. Kaboom. Get in dragon form. Into Aftershock. More powerful. Aftershock. Get our shield back. Get some mighty back. And then I think we just draw through some of these treasures. Oh, that's great. Love to see it. Okay, Arcane Silence is very good. I think that's probably what we take. Horrifying Mutation is also kind of tempting. It speeds up our win against Maw, potentially. But I think just having more cleanse is hard to pass up. And then, of course, Tormenting Gloves is always incredible in status-based decks. Although it will screw with my math for the rest of the run. So take a drink every time my math is wrong because I didn't account for Tormented Gloves. I think this fight is better than this one. And we are going through Protector again. Yep, there we go. That was an example of me thinking I was going to get a bonus from whatever and then just not getting it. Okay, we can do that. we can go ahead and go kaboom. This will get us a little bit more energy. Time for the AoE attacks, which will kill our friend, unfortunately. Let's get Arcane Weakness on you. And the reason that we're doing that is so that we can get, I say that, but now we're going to do this, which, get mana, and then just go ahead and pop you guys a few times. There goes the powerful stacks. And we can end by getting some more shield, because these guys hit very hard, and they're going to hit hard next turn too. Next turn is a decent chance to potentially do things. We can do this. All right. Let's get more mana, and we are just going to end up having to use the freeze here on you, because we could not block 2 of those hits. This seems like a good chance to do that. And now we can blow up you for quite a lot of damage. Alright. Let's go ahead and just get you. You've kind of been the main target. We're not going to play the Sanctuary this time. Okay, there's the weak that I was kind of hoping to see. And we can blow you up. Takes you down to not quite enough damage to kill my shield. Get shield up before we supercharge. And then we will block. Okay. Goodbye. And let's just go and do that. I should have gotten Adept up first. And meditate. Yeah, we're not actually going to play those out, I think. We're only going to play out that one. Yeah, we blew up all of the frenzy. So that's funny for us. And now we can blow you up a little bit. Goodbye. have a little bit of whatever stored up. We can do that. Which will work out fairly nicely. Okay. Rude. Bonk. Blew up its own Final Frenzy stack. Cleansing off our bleed before it causes problems. And getting some explosions off at the same time. Get a bit of shield. And we can go kaboom. Which gets us not quite to a kill, unfortunately. Alright, apply weak. Oh, it's just gonna bleed out. What am I doing? No point doing anything else. It's just gonna bleed out. Womp. I've been blorped. Alright. Ossifying Strike is a way to close out this final fight faster. I think we probably should have enough cleanse. Let me think. So we can apply weak. And we have to do that. We don't need that this turn. Go ahead and pop off the other purity stack. And, we're going to explode here, unless we freeze. I think we want to avoid exploding. Okay. So doing that. It's a little bit unfortunate. Because we haven't found any tough yet. But we should this turn, hopefully. Yep. Okay. So let's see. I want to get this out. I need to get this out. All right, now that tips the balance on that. Are the odds that we draw good enough? I think not. I think we just do this, which will conveniently get us, and we get enough shield from that actually, so that works out pretty well. Okay. So the question becomes, how much whatever do I want? My problem is I do really want this shield, or I do really want to freeze myself, but I also really want the shield, but I also really want to draw cards. Okay, let's play one first. We guarantee us a little bit of shield. Okay, there's some mana. We can blow up. Oh, right. Tormenting Gloves. Tormenting Gloves is going to generate us some mana. Just a little bit of mana. And by a little bit, I mean I think that was 11 mana. Which is also going to... Right, this is going to... I think we're going to deal with you. I should have done that first. Oh no, because I couldn't have, because that would have taken me out of supercharge. Alright, and then that will freeze me. Getting frozen is not a big deal. Okay. Oh wow, I didn't realize we had managed to double freeze despite the changes to freeze making that harder. I think we are just going to stay supercharged for the moment. And we got 2 charge ups there because one of them came from hitting 0 mana from our mana being stolen. Let's do this. This is going to be lethal either way, I believe. And then bonk bonk. There is some energy. There's some mana. Alright, so we're stuck pinging that one. I think this is what we're going to do, because I wasn't sure if I killed this one, if the death spores would tip this over, which was my worry. Come on, mana. Okay. Now we will supercharge. Will let us blow up the death spores and some other stuff. Let's see what we can draw. Keep drawing. Okay, now we'll go ahead and do this, which will get us towards that kill. And we'll draw a little bit more. Okay. We want to play that. We want to play that. And we want to play all 3 of these frigid currents. And then we'll just play out all of them. Which will freeze us. But that's fine. Gonna come out the buffs on that one. But there go the buffs. Should have supercharged before doing that. Go ahead and heal off that last little point. And now we just need to supercharge again and we win. Or just do that. Womp. Prismatic Shield is good. I think we don't need the Overflowing Barrier anymore. I'm just going to rush towards the end because got other stuff that I need to do. So we want to toughen. I think we want to start just working on that one. And I think we do want to go ahead and get this extra shield out. So we draw. So we do have to do this. And by have to, I just mean like if we want to get that value out. So this should generate us mana because it will just trigger a bunch of arcane detonations. And let's pop you again. Is this lethal? Yes. Goodbye. That'll do. Let's do this into that. Let's prevent the curse from coming out. And we can just go ahead and supercharge. Let's go pop and pop. We don't need that. Ooh. Let's get adept up. And then let's actually just stop you from stealing our mana. Swamp. Get our mana back. What was that card draw from? I don't know. I don't know why we drew that card. I wasn't paying enough attention. Oh, I must have played a treasure. I assume. Can't think of any other reason that wouldn't have appeared in the discard pile. But if you ever need proof that this game, you don't have to be a genius to play this game and win as effectively as I do, just pay attention to the number of times I just lose track of what I'm doing midway through doing it. There's that kill. There's that kill. Alright. One enemy left. Just have to kill the boss. Bane could speed things up. I don't hate having that. And sure, we'll reroll. Why not? Sure. Doesn't do much for us, but loot the cache. Let's just rest a bunch. I'm not going to bother moving cards because that takes effort. That doesn't, none of that matters. Oh, I should replace the, pirate hook if I get another chance, because pirate hook doesn't do anything for me in this fight. Alright, let's see. Last chance, give me. Alright. And yeah, that is better than pirate hook, because pirate hook, like I said, not going to do literally anything in this fight. Let's go. And we are just going to stack a bunch of power. That's the plan this run. Alright, let's go ahead and scroll of recall. And we may as well do that, which will get us a pretty high damage arcane detonation. Alright, so we need to get... Okay, there's no good way to hit 0. That, though, means we have to play that. Just no choice. And that seems okay. Let's do that, and then we'll gain adept. And we'll draw cards. One. That's going to give me some amount of mana. Let's go ahead and draw cards, because I do want to get this Bane out if I can, I think. Although, in this case, I would rather do that, because it's just going to be more valuable. Let's do that, because it lets us... totally forgot about that trick, but it still works. Lets us stack additional frozen. And let's just do this. So Bane isn't doing as much damage as I was kind of hoping, but that's fine. It would have helped if I had been able to play Bane a second time there. Alright. We can draw additional cards. Oh, there's Bane. We're actually going to do that first so we can get to Exactio, because we knew this was going to pull us out of... Going to do that. All right. Probably about to see, yeah, these guys go down. Let's draw some cards. Hey, this is actually the first times that Mr. has been able to actually get cards onto us. Alright. I do really like the idea of going Womp. Don't actually hate that, because that'll draw us into... Oh, that wasn't even what I was expecting. But that's fine. And this should draw us into, yeah, that. Which will get us the big damage hits. Oh well, this is actually gonna, this is only that would only do that one thing. Alright, shield. We'll almost completely block this. Start with that. Unfortunately, I got got blocked. It's fine. Alright, Bane doing some damage. And there's Ossifying Strike, which will get us this kill. Not quite, but this will. Alright. That is lethal. And let me get a screenshot. Anyway, so that is Paladin, just kind of doing general purpose Paladin things. Featuring Dragon Form doing Dragon Form things. That took quite a bit longer than I expected, but still, good run. And I will see you guys next time. Toodles.